an issue that just a month ago seemed big time, head banging. While the spotlight has been elsewhere, it's the judiciary who's continuing to look at a flow of head-high tackles over the last 2 rounds. Let's take a look at some of them. For 4 weeks for his tackle on Illawarra's John Cross. Cross was hurt, but the video suggests it was Fenwick's shoulder that hit Cross's chin and did the damage. Fenwick's arm may have made contact with Cross's neck, but in that aspect, it looks no worse than many other tackles that deserve a penalty, no more. No one can tell me Fenwick deliberately hit Cross high with his shoulder. That'd be asking for a head clash. Mario has been a regular visitor to the judiciary, so a 2-week sentence probably became 4, but I think he's been hard done by. In the same match, which was drawn, the Crushers' Terry Cook was sent off for this tackle on Paul McGregor. Later, he was rightly exonerated. No action was taken against McGregor, the ball carrier, who led into the tackle with a forearm raised. Meanwhile, ball carrier Peter Johnston was cited by the Crushers for leading with his forearm and breaking Fenwick's collarbone. Johnston copped a 2-week sentence. By contrast, over at Parramatta, another ball carrier, Brett Plowman, sent Auckland's Logan Edwards to the canvas. Plowman's raised forearm may or may not have hit Edwards' neck or chin, but like McGregor, he was neither reported nor cited. South's Darryl Trindle was sent off for going high on Robbie O'Davis. Trindle's arm was across the face, but it wasn't vicious, and he did pull out of the tackle. Still, 3 weeks. A fortnight ago, the Bulldogs' James Pickering hung his arm out on David Boyle. It was high, but there was no force. Cited by Ron Massey and Mick Stone, the league's citing panel, 4 weeks. If that's the set penalty, fair enough. But what about these tackles in the past 2 rounds? Danny Moore, swinging arm to the face. No different to the tackle which earned Scott Goulet a week out. Graham Bradley, around the neck of Willie Kahn. Gordon Tallis, high on Brad Thorne. Jason Stevens, a swing and a miss, just as well for Alan Cann. None of these players was reported by the referee or cited by Stone and Massey. Finally, 2 weeks ago, the Broncos' Terry Madison was sent off for an elbow to the head of Ian Heron. Madison said it was a shoulder charge gone wrong. The judiciary outed him for 3 weeks. Last year, in similar but worse circumstances, Gavin Allen copped 8 weeks. The judiciary has set a standard, 3 or 4 weeks for a high tackle that is careless or reckless, even if it's not intentional. Fenwick's record was against him, and Madison was downright lucky. But the ones who are even luckier are the ones who are just slipping through that net. They're not reported by the referee. They're not cited by the opposition clubs. The citing panel doesn't get them. They get off scot-free. But if you go to the judiciary, you get 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, that certainly seems the way, isn't it? If you make the trip to Phillip Street and you're a little bit guilty, it looks like you'll be suspended. It's all a matter of opinion, Warren, I suppose. And we've trusted it to Ron Massey and the citing panel, so I suppose, we have to respect their opinions. But certainly, if you look at it in slow frame, incident by incident, you can come up with all sorts of discrepancies, can't you?
I'm not blaming referees, but I mean, if you've got the video, we've got the video, so have they. Peardy, some of those high tackles I showed near the end there, don't you think that those guys deserve to go to the judiciary if others did?
Most certainly, but it's always going to be a contentious point, Warren. I just watched that Trindle. I don't think he was guilty at all. I mean, that was more or less a reflex action. He did pull out of the tackle, but it's a difficult situation for referees because I think on the field they've got to have a feel for the game and they've got to determine the level of intent. So that's always difficult for referees. If in doubt, just cite them.
Yeah, well, that's right. If in doubt, why not?